Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this is Wine Library TV. We're going to taste some wine. I'm going to mix it up today. We're going to actually taste some wine. WLTV, huh? Let's talk about WLTV a little bit. We're over a year old now, and many of you have been on the journey the whole time. And you know, it's funny, I kind of sat in my office today doing different things, and somebody sent me a link. It's like, take a look at this. And it's like Kagina Carter. I almost said Kagina Carter. What a bust he was. Made Blair Thomas look okay. Blair Thomas, speaking of Jets, the NFL schedule is out. Bad news for all you guys. Pats, sorry. Giants, Cowgirls, that's going to be laughable. You're going to choke on your turkey bone on Thanksgiving Day. And I see Herm Edwards is coming to town right before New Year's. We're going to belt him with some empty bottles of champagne. I cannot wait for that. But back to what I was going to say was, as I was looking at this video, I kind of realized how far WLTV has come. So what I'm talking about right now is quick link time right over here. Chris Mott, stay on the ball. VO. We showed you the big contest that we're running that you can have me come to your home and do a $1,000 wine tasting anywhere in the continental United States for you and 8 of your friends. And we've had quite a few people put in videos already on the contest. But I'm looking for more. And really the question of the day is this. Flat out, bringing it right now at you. Bringing the thunder with the question of the day. When are you going to get off your lazy ass and give me a little something? Just a video, 3 to 5 minutes. Most cameras now, Eric, am I wrong? Most cameras got the video option. Phones. Can you show phones? Thank you, Eric. Phones, cameras. I mean, goddamn pens have video options, and you're not stepping up for me after all I've done, 212 plus episodes for free? Please, I need it. So, without further ado, I'm just going to give you a little hint of what can be done. Here are 2 really great clips, from 2 different clips from VO. Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. Really profound nose, actually very, very good.
Hello everybody and welcome to Wine Library TV. I'm your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. I want to be able to write with my cheese. Now, easy cheese is perfect for that. Sometimes when I come home, I like to reflect upon my day with my easy cheese. Wheat beans big are perfect for this. Triscuits work as well. Sometimes I have this type of day. And sometimes I just want to give a shameless plug for the show. Question of the day. Who wants to see me do my next show topless? Vote. Tell your friends to vote. Right down there. 5 stars. Help me win this thing. You. And a little bit of me. We're changing the cheese world, aren't we?
I know for one, I would vote for you. Alright, so, Vino. And what we're going to talk about today is Languedoc, and we're going to talk about Roussillon. The Languedoc-Roussillon area, we have not talked about this area, and this is going to segue so perfectly into what I'm about to tell you about this area, because it is, for lack of a word, obnoxious. How unknown, underrated, unappreciated, under the radar, undervalued these wines are from this area. 68.7% of Languedoc-Roussillon wines come from the Languedoc. And if you don't like that number, 68.7, I guess we got to round that up. And that gives you 69. I mean, that on itself makes this one of the best places in the world for wine. But here's something really interesting about Languedoc-Roussillon. 700 acres of wine are planted in this region. 3 times the amount that is coming from all of Bordeaux. I've got a better stat for you. 1 out of every 10 bottles produced in the 20th century in the world was from this region. And we haven't done an episode until episode 213. How about this fun fact about Languedoc-Roussillon? And let's just call it the LR for now. LR. In 2001, more wine was produced from Languedoc-Roussillon than the entire United States of America. And if any indication is, I'm based on Eric's eyes, who went real wide just now, It's pretty startling. And so why is the question, and the question needs to be asked, why is it taking me, for example, 212 episodes to do an episode on it? And this is what it comes down to. These wines are just underrated, under the radar, underappreciated. And you know what? It's pissing me off my darn self that it took me so long to do this. And you know, we're going to probably have like 3 or 4 more of these episodes real soon, because these wines are some of the best barbecue wines in the world. And now it's starting to get, you're starting to feel it. The one button's lower, it's a little warmer. We're feeling good. Spring and summer, it's barbecue time. And these are the kind of wines that I like to call barbecue wines. And so let's get right into the first wine, and we'll talk a little bit more about this area. This is the Mas Genil Côte de Roussillon 2003. 88 points from the Wine Spectator, and this is $10 US. This is a blend of Grenache and Syrah. Now, some of the wines from the Languedoc you've seen under names like Minevois, Corbière, Saint-Chinon, Fougères, Côte de Languedoc, Côte de Roussillon. There's a lot of one. Vin de Pays. You see that VDP all the way, all around in a lot of shops. These are all wines from that area. I mean, this area stretches from the Mediterranean, all the Mediterranean part of France, all the way to the border of Spain. I mean, it's a big area making some profound wines and really underpriced wines. Again, $10, 88 points, a Grenache Syrah blend. Again, a lot of the grapes you find in this area are also commonly found in the Rhone region, and so that makes a lot of fun because I'm a huge Rhone head. Great nose. It's going to be a good episode. Tremendous black pepper flavor profile on the nose. Coming through with really zesty, almost reminds me of when I used to be at the pool with my, with my dad. We didn't have a pool when I was growing up, so when we visited people at the pool. And they would all have Bloody Marys. And, and I kind of wanted to be in the mix. So I'd have the tomato juice and then take the Tabasco sauce and put lots of it. I like spicy stuff. And then take some pepper, get my celery stick. That was key. You had to get the prime celery stick. This has a very virgin Bloody Mary aspect to it on the nose. Reminds me quite a bit of that. So I am getting some of that vegetal. But I think, and there's that Worcestershire sauce or something that people use. That's probably what's coming through. I think actually that's what's popping through more in this nose. The nose is extremely intense. Back to the flavor profile. I mean, great layers of dark chocolate, very jammy aspect. I'm also getting a little bit of that tobacco flavor profile that you get in a good cigar box, a little cedar going on. Black pepper is really dominant on this wine, quite substantially. Really nice cherry, strawberry, raspberry, red fruit dominated components on the finish. And the complexity is rich. The mid palate is very smooth, transitioning into a very long, and still tasting it right now. Am I? Yoda style. This wine is really, really bringing the thunder. I've got to be very honest with you. I think Spectator did a good job. This is a very under-the-radar wine. I'm not too familiar with it at all. For $10, this is an out-and-out steal. You can buy 40 bottles of $2 Chuck and not get the pleasure of this. This wine to me is an 89 plus. I've almost gave it a 9. I mean, maybe I'm preconceiving. I don't think so, though. This is an 89 plus wine to me, but this is extremely good and very, very, very approachable, drinkable barbecue wine, because these are the kind of wines that have enough body that go really great with ribs, burgers, hot dogs, all the kind of things that you have in a barbecue. And so I highly recommend this wine. It does not hurt the wallet. I mean, the wallet will come out flat out. You buy this wine, wallet will walk over to you and say, I hear you, wallet. I know. High five. I mean, the wallet wants to high five you after you make decisions like this. Make more decisions like this. This is a winner. 89 plus. Let's move on. This is the Calvet Thuvien Cuvée Constance Vin de Pays, and this is 2004 vintage. This is from 25-year-old vines, and this is 60% Grenache, 30% Syrah, and 10% Carignan, which is one of my favorite grapes from this area, the Carignan. And it's a 15% alcohol content bomb, 13 bones, 90 points. Sir Robert Parker. Let's go with this. A little bit of a better color in this wine. I think you can clearly see it. It's a darker, richer color. And, you know, clearly we've shown on this after the 1,000 wines we've done. God, we're very close to 1,000 wines. 4 times 212. And I don't know. We're at 212. We did 40 wines in one episode. I remember. Yeah, I know. But some episodes, you know, we're getting very close to 1,000 wines. SS Chris, how many wines are we at? Anyway, let's give this a whirl. Oh, what I was about to say is that of the 1,000 wines that we've had on Wine Library TV, about 2.5 have had bad color, and 2 of them were yesterday. So color has definitely been something the winemakers have figured out how to cheat on. All right, great color. Oh, man. And by the way, Michael Wong, 3rd grade, thank you. I mean, he had this move when he would do, he'd never put his arm here. And so for me, being on his left, kid's like, you know, probably owns like something right now. I'm going to Google him, actually. Michael Wong, Edison, New Jersey, hardcore. You know, the answers are right there. I had to take advantage of it, just like these winemakers. This color, they're just all so profound now. Anyway, let's give this a whirl. Very dark nose, you know, kind of like you know, this reminds me of a coffee shop. It's got a lot of mocha, and it's got pastry aspects as well. So classic coffee shop, maybe in France, because, you know, they're using some different products there. Anyway, yeah, it's got a very kind of pastry coffee shop nose to it. There's some mocha aspects, a raspberry pastry. There's like that creamy custard aspect on the nose that I get a lot of times in red wines that's coming through in this. Little hints of baby strawberries as well. Let's give this a whirl. Ooh. Tricky wine to analyze. There's a lot of oak in this wine, but I wouldn't bring out the guy. I know, because he's scary. Because it is integrated pretty finely by this wine. It's got a very creamy mouthfeel that I think a lot of people would enjoy. I do find the heat being a factor in this wine. 15 alcohol, I think, got away from them a tiny bit. Good blueberry, raspberry combination going through. The creaminess is very obvious. The oak is very obvious. It's a polished wine. I think there's a lot of people who'd like this wine because with the seamless oak integration, it's very creamy and structural, a little vanilla on the mid palate. I'm enjoying this wine. It's a little bland for me. It's a little too, I don't know, cookie cutter. It's a little too cookie cutter for me. I mean, there's a lot of wines like this, and I don't see the true essence of Grenache and Syrah and Carignan coming through in this wine. To me, it could be a California Cabernet that would taste like this. I think the oak just went a little overboard. And with the hot finish, I'm going to score this wine 87 points. I think Parker's overrating this wine. But this is a New World fruit bomb-esque kind of wine that could be sneaky, and I could see a lot of people liking this because there's a good amount of elegance. And elegance and silkiness trick people. Because it's going down your mouth and your palate is happy with you, but you've got to look a little bit deeper. You know, not every book by its cover kind of thing, just like people. You know, sometimes those people are too happy, too nice. You know, there's something going on over there. That's kind of how I see this wine. I see this as a wine for people that have been drinking wine for a short period of time, being a home run for. And so I think if you do like wines and you're just getting into wines, this is definitely a wine worth seeking out because I think there's aspects in it that will make you enjoy it. However, I do believe there's some things under the covers there that are not quite as happy, which is a little bit of sourness and more importantly, just a generic over-oaked flavor profile. Let's move on. Domaine de Nazas Carignan 2004 Via Vines. Old Vine Carignan. And this should be very interesting. It's from Vin de Pays classification. And 14 US dollars, 92 points, wine enthusiast. So the enthusiast got excited about this wine quite a bit. We've been selling a boatload of this wine. So I'm kind of excited about trying it for my darn gosh self. Let's give it a whirl. Again, great color. All right, this is, you know, this is Carignan. I mean, you know, this, and again, Carignan's got aspects to it that remind me of the Shiraz Viognier blends. So if you like that aspect, if you had those wines, there's a lot of this going on true in this wine as well, which is kind of like the combination of cherries, lemons, and vinegar. You know, there's that whole I actually put that concoction together once and blended it up with lemon peels and everything, and it kind of gave me this aspect. I kind of went backwards on it. I was really proud of myself. I figured it out. Then I threw a couple Lucky Charms in there because, you know, I mean, just made it look cool. Plus, I'm obsessed with cereal. It's clear. So yeah, I'm getting that kind of tone to it. It seems a little, on the nose, a little funky. You know, a little, you know, sweaty feet. A little, you ran the marathon and you threw the sock in your spouse's face. I don't know if they appreciate that, but that's definitely going on in this wine. Let's give it a whirl. This is fun wine. This is a very clear indication of what Carignan can bring to the table. It's got great fleshness, very raw venison kind of aspects to it. I mean, kind of like if you bit your hand off, you would really get, you know, you would taste that raw flesh. You know what I'm talking about. You know, that's the kind of flavor profile you're getting. It's a very raw, meaty, gamey aspect coming through on this wine. Again, with nice doses of a little bit of Dijon clone mustard, Dijon clone wine term, sorry about that. Pepper, little spices different going on, a little clove. I also like, there's even a hint of red radish coming on this wine. Big shout out to Eric Kastner because I eat all his red radishes every day, and I'm getting a little bit in this wine. Now, the negative. I honestly believe this wine's overpriced at $14. I've tasted a lot of examples of wines like this, like Carignan, that in this profile, in this vein, that have come in the $7 to $9 range. And so that's affecting me. This is a nice bottle of wine. I think a lot of people would enjoy this. And it's sad because I'm not going to recommend this wine. I'm going to throw up the pass, and I'm going to throw a couple Z's at you too. But, like, it breaks my heart because it's Carignan, and it's real Carignan, and it's old vine Carignan, and I feel like it'd be so great for people to go and experience that. So go seek out old vine Carignan because it's definitely under the radar and well worth it. I can't recommend this effort because, once again, I do believe that I've tasted too many wines like this. It's pretty simple, very basic, very much going through the countryside, riding your bike with, you know, your friends and family in this area. Stop at any house, not going to work. Can we try your wine? Well, yes, you can. And they pour it to you, and it's like, you know, they give you a bucket for like a quarter. That's what's bothering me about this wine. I'm going to score this wine 87 points. It's a good effort. It's a solid bottle of wine. Very simple for me at the end of the day. And really the kind of wine that I think is not worth more than $8 or $9 max. Let's move on. The Leviers Clos des Sutriers 2004 Côte de Languedoc, 91 points, Wine Spectator. Sorry, coming back. Eric was telling me to go move over. 91 points, Wine Spectator, $20 US. So definitely a more, you know, premium wine. 10% Carignan. What do we got here? 20% Grenache and 70% Syrah, all estate grown. And that's a big factor. Let's talk about estate grown. If you look at any wines and they say estate grown, that means they control the vineyards. It's usually on their property. It's their wines. This is estate grown juice. And in this area, where everybody and their cousin is growing grapes and selling them off to bulk because there's so much wine in the area, where the bigger conglomerates are buying it up and doing private labels or labels for the UK supermarket markets, it's rare, not rare, but it's less common to find estate-grown Côte de Languedoc, and I'm excited about this. This wine was a huge feature for us a couple weeks ago. We did a big email on it and blew through it. People have been reordering it. There's a lot of hype on this wine, and I still have not tasted it. We bought it based on a 91-point Spectator because, you know, that's what people look for. 20 bones, very expensive. Not very expensive, but definitely a pricey wine for this area. But hence, is 20 bones a lot in other areas? It's not at all. It tends to be bargain. So this is where things can get interesting, and I'm dynamite curious. And dynamite curious is like, you stuck the dynamite and you're just curious because you better execute whatever you want. Because if the dynamite blows up, game over, and you're never, ever, ever going to experience anything again. You may survive, though. I mean, I've heard that it happens. So, depends how powerful, right? I'm in a weird mood. Let's go. Real dark. Darkest of the whole bunch, 70% Syrah. We've been glowing and singing about the accolades of Syrah, another great area for Syrah in the world. Do you know what the first thing I thought of when I smelt this wine was a broken snow globe, or whatever those things are, right? Snow globe? Is that those things? I don't even know why. That was really weird.
I drank the water once.
You drank the water once? We should do that on the show. You'd be huge. Dig. Everybody would pick you up. You'd be huge. Boing, boing. I'm getting a cool sea breeze aspect on the nose. I mean, I'm getting like a pepper, minty fresh, I can't even talk, minty fresh aspect on my nose. I'm getting like that cool, like, you know, double mint, spearmint, the twins and everything. I mean, it's pretty cool. Interesting. Very, very interesting. A very minty, peppermint, fresh nose coming on. Little hints of Twix. You know, like the chocolate covered graham cracker type thing, or whatever they called it. Really interesting. I guess I'm getting that caramel and chocolate. Having a Twix on a breezy day on the boardwalk in New Jersey. That's what this smells like. Let's give it a whirl. Hello, real wine. Hello. Real wine. I mean, this is killing. Wow. As a matter of fact, as I was tasting this wine, the only thing going through my mind was, oh crap, this is a lot better than some of the $30 Syrahs I've been recommending commonly on the show. This wine is really bringing the thunder, and more importantly, it is New World and Old World combined. You know, it's like the 84-year-old grandma walking with the 19-year-old blonde granddaughter. They're both great. There's a lot of interest and different reasons you like both, because grandma's pretty cool. Stories, legendary stuff. Other reasons why you like the granddaughter too. That's what this wine reminds me of, because this is bringing every... Wow, hold on, seriously. I think the Wine Spectator takes a bashing a lot of times. People don't trust their scores. A little more than Parker, I've noticed. But I've got to tell you, they completely nailed this wine. This wine is extremely drinkable now, has the tannin structure to believe... I'm going to tell this wine it's going to last another 10 to 15 years easy. With inflation and where the wine world is going, if you open this wine in 10 years and you know you paid 20 bucks for it, you're going to scream, high-five yourself, and then probably pick up some sort of mechanism that nobody knows about yet and connect to me somehow. Not IM, not chat, not Twitter. I'm talking about something where you're going to like hit a button on your palm and I'm going to show up in front of you and be like, what? And you're going to say, that wine! That's what this wine is in your life and in mine. And I'm only going to limit to about 500 times of saying, what, that wine again? Yes, this wine, the Soutiers. This is an amazing effort. I think Wine Spectator underrated it. Preconceived notions, I thought they overrated it. 91 points is very big for them and a big score. This is elegance, refinement. This reminds me of the Tensley Syrah that everybody went crazy about, but more refined with the elegance of that 95 Chateau, the 95 Margaux we did, the Chateau Ferrier, the other day. It's almost like taking those two wines, which are very different, and smashing them together and getting this bottle, which happens to be less priced than both of them. This is an exceptional effort. I hate to go out on too far of a limbs. I don't make, I don't really ruffle the sea in any which way, but I'm going to right now. This wine is 93 plus. This is a big effort. I am completely positive that it's going to be very hard. Only if you're nitpicking, and if you really want to fight with me, are you going to really disagree with me on this. I just cannot find the wine drinker that's going to hate this bottle of wine. Or, more importantly, be disappointed. And I know I've gotten excited. I was in a very excitable mood today. But I've got to be honest with you. This is pretty spectacular. I mean, shockingly spectacular. One of the best QPRs we've ever done on the show. And it's, it's 20 bucks. It's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Word association for the question of the day, even though I already asked one. I want two. Can I get two? The first one's, when are you going to get off your lazy ass? Hook me up. The other question of the day, word association, Rainbow Bright. Because you, with a little bit of me, we're changing the wine world, aren't we?